All right, welcome to episode 1 of the Raideo Podcast. Yay! Aren't you clapping? Why aren't you clapping, Shagun? You're not excited for me?
I am.
Yes. Well, so Shagun's here, one of our student council presidents. How's it going?
It's going good.
Yes.
How about you?
Oh, it's going well with me. Always learning something new, including this thing. How do you like the mic?
It's cool.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah, it looks like a robot.
Yeah, somebody at the district gave it to me. It's a Snowball.
It's cool.
Snowball mic. It's really kind of strange.
It's a snowball.
Yeah. So, what's up?
I'm good.
What's going on nowadays?
Um.
You guys don't even have time to talk to me anymore. Barely.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We've been really busy. There's a lot of stuff going on with student council, and we're just planning so many events, and the haunted house that happened lately.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went through there. That was pretty freaky. I'd have to say you guys topped last year, because this year you had a story.
Yeah.
And I think, was it Beth who was the little girl and the little ghost girl?
Yeah,
That was freaky.
We had like a lot of turnout this year. It was really good. And, you know, everything was set properly. It was a good set. But we're also having the Christmas assembly that's going to be happening soon, and Kiss a Fish. Yeah, that's our main fundraiser that we do, and we are going to be picking teachers to do it.
So that's when we have teachers' faces or
Students
face. Too.
Yeah.
You usually pick 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you put their faces on a jar and you donate money. Where's the money going to this year?
Well, we are actually voting on that next week, and we were thinking that maybe we should just give it to our school committee, Midui, but some people are saying that, you know, we should go and give it to like this Innocence for Lost or something. It's like this child soldier thing.
Oh, okay, so on Thursday next week you're going to decide?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then so people donate, and then whoever gets the most money gets a kiss a fish. It's an honor to kiss a fish. You know what kind of fish you guys are getting this year?
Something crazy. Something crazy for once.
Let it be like a monkfish. Or
that would be cool.
Maybe a little shark.
Yeah. Oh, I would like that. If only we could find a shark here.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go around killing sharks. So anything else coming up? Oh, thanks for giving. Finally, you guys are going to
do the teacher ascent.
Yeah, the crazy things that teachers promise to do.
Yeah, Mr. Nickage and Mr. Turpin are going to be doing a puppet show.
Awesome.
And you and Miss Under are going to be doing.
I'm doing something.
Yeah, you're doing a duet.
What? I didn't know about this.
You knew about.
Okay, we can do it. Yeah, we can. I'll take on the challenge.
And then one of the grade 12 guys, Raymond, I believe, they're going to be getting a wax. That's going to be great. And I believe Miss Forbes, Miss LeBrun, I think, and what's her name?
So there's a number of teachers.
Yeah.
And you're going to announce this on the PA. So it's going to be like once a week.
Yep, once a week.
Spread
every
it out.
Wednesday.
Yeah, people love seeing teachers do crazy things.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
We might even be doing something for the fundraiser, taping the teachers to the wall again.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of maybe Miss Chum and like one of the grade 9s, Manny. that would be.
Well, Manny's lighter. I remember what happened to Mr. Nickage last year and him falling off the wall, and yeah, that was not good.
Someone went overexcited and just pulled the chair out. That was not a good idea. Yeah. It won't be done this year though, but we're still gonna do the tape for teachers.
Anything else, Shagun?
Well, there's the Remembrance Day Assembly coming up, and we're excited for that. Well, not excited, but it's going to be powerful, I believe, because Mr. Turpin will be organizing it this year.
I've been hearing about it already, and it's going to be pretty powerful. So.
Yeah. But Christmas assembly, and then we're going to be getting ready for the hot chocolate sales and donut sales from Tim Hortons and all that. And maybe do some, spirit events,
Good. So, listen to your announcements, everyone.
Yeah.
And thanks, Shagun, for joining us on the very first podcast ever, the Raideo Podcast. Today we interviewed LA, and he's going to be talking about his EDM music. Did you know he did EDM?
No idea.
Do you listen to EDM?
I have no idea.
You have no idea what EDM is?
No.
Okay, well, listen to this podcast.
Sure, yeah.
All right, thank you, Shagun.
Thank you for having me.
High five. Hey, LA.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's okay.
Welcome to episode number 1 of the Raideo Podcast. This is my first time doing a podcast, so I hope people appreciate that. And I've got here LA, and you have done lots of EDM music. Can you explain what that is, like the type of music you do?
Well, I can't really explain it. It's something you'd have to hear to know what it is. I mean, there's lots of different styles, and there's so much things people do to like change it. It's amazing what people do.
So EDM stands for like electronic dance music, right?
Yes.
And is there a reason why, like I've listened to lots of different music, and I'm sure I've listened to some EDM, and I've tried to listen to some, and I listened to your stuff actually, which is pretty cool. And I have been to dances before where it's been played. So I guess it came from the dance scene?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It did. But it was kind of like, I don't know, it's just, oh my goodness, I don't know.
It's hard to explain?
It is hard to explain.
So there's different types of EDM, right?
Yes, there's too many genres to get into. People are creating new genres. It's really cool. But I don't know, genres are just too much to hold on to now. It's just different to distinguish.
So, like, when you create your stuff, you're not creating it within a certain genre, or are there certain things that you tend towards?
When I create my stuff, I don't know. I just come up with a melody and see where it takes me. I'll create like any kind of sound. Well, I'll try to. I mean, I'm still learning, so yeah.
So, I know there's people like David Guetta, right? And I've heard some of his stuff because I guess he's really popular because he works with a lot of different popular artists, right?
Yeah.
There's Skrillex. I know him for being, the dubstep king.
Yeah.
But there's other ones as well. Which were the ones that you kind of listening to or influenced by before you started making your stuff?
Before I started making my stuff, I was honestly really into Skrillex and a whole bunch of other trap artists. Trap, I don't know. Trap also is a different genre. It's another whole genre to explain. But I don't know. There's many subgenres to a genre now too.
So it's getting technical.
Yes,
and
it
people
is.
are
It
really,
really is.
And you find that, like, I guess that why you say that you don't really need to get into that is because it's kind of constraining.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you do dubstep and you think, okay, I'm just gonna make this piece of music and turn it way up, and that's gonna be dubstep with lots of beats, then that kind of limits you to what you can do musically, right?
Yeah.
So how do you start? Like if you were to go right now and create a piece of music, or like how do you even start thinking about a piece of music? Like what was your inspiration and how do you begin?
I don't know. Beforehand, I'm always listening to music. So, like I'm listening to my friends' music, my favorite artists' music. I mean, my friends are my favorite artists as well. So, but yeah, I'm always listening to music, and I don't know. I take little bits of inspiration, like they all inspire me to make one thing. So I'll take like an idea from one track and then another, and then I'll just like, well, all the tracks I listen to, like I try to combine it into one, and I mean, it's just a mixture of stuff. You know, try not to limit yourself because you know the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm. So you'll listen to other tracks and then you'll think, what can I do with this? Because there's two different types of people in EDM. There's like I know my cousin, he's getting into some DJing, but that's different from what you do, right? Because you actually compose from scratch or from samples.
Yeah.
Whereas DJing is kind of on the spot, mixing things together.
I mean, I'm trying to get into that as well, but just right now I'm trying to focus on what's going on, like, with my stuff.
Mm-hmm. So you sit down with a piece of software, usually?
Yep.
Yeah? And then you start just playing around with different sounds?
Yep.
And where do you get some of those samples from?
I search really hard, like long hours for these samples. I mean,
like where are some good places?
Some blogs, you know, some artists are putting their music into. They collect samples from other songs. They put it into a compressed folder, and sometimes they have it like exclusively released to other artists, or they just put it on their blog and open for other people to use. But I mean, I try not to use samples. I mean, it's good to use samples, but I try to use just make my own sounds.
Oh, so you actually you have a keyboard hooked up to your computer?
Well, not like a keyboard with all the soundboards and knobs and stuff. I mean, I'd really like to get those, but just right now I'm just using softwares like plugins, and yeah. So I would open those plugins into the software I use, FL Studio 11, and basically I'd open up a preset. So there's different kinds of sounds. They have presets, so it's like I don't know, it's kind of more specific kind of searching for your sound that you're looking for.
Right. And
I just take that preset, but I play around with it to make it different, but just somewhat the way I want it. And sometimes I don't know what I want, so I don't know, I'm always playing around with music, so.
Right. And I mean, I've watched some videos of people like Guetta online giving these master classes where they're in the software, and all I see is a whole bunch of different squares everywhere, and I don't know what's going on, but adding different tracks and instruments and playing with waveforms and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, he goes through it, like it's like mind blowing the speed at which it comes together.
Yeah.
But I guess with practice, that's what you end up doing, and there's a bit of a flow to it, right?
Yeah.
So when you put a piece of music together, you obviously need a bit of time to do that.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you need, and what is the environment like? Do you go into a room with your laptop, or do you have like a studio at home, or
I wish.
How do you close off the rest of the world? Because I assume that you need some concentration to put all that stuff together, because it's complicated.
I don't know, I lock myself in my room for a bit, and I hook up my MIDI keyboard to my computer, and I try to come up with like random melodies and stuff. I eventually come up with something good, and then I try to see how I can lengthen that to make it like all the way through a song, maybe about a good 2 or 3 minutes. And then I try to see what drums are good for it. Then I just add on to it, and then see what else needs to be added.
Mm-hmm. So listening to your stuff, not knowing that much about EDM, I have to say that it sounds like atmospheric. Would that be a good title for it? Because it seems like it's kind of like, okay, I'm listening to it and I can see the ocean in front of me, and all of a sudden there's raindrops, and I kind of hear that kind of stuff. Not necessarily, it's not not necessarily because you actually put sounds of ocean or raindrops, but that's kind of the feeling of it.
Yeah, you just want to have when you make music, or when I make music, I want my listeners to have like a connection to it, like a reality kind of a real connection, like I don't know, it's because I've been very inspired by my friend Mark Arkinson, who lives in California. He's about 18 years old. He's really talented. He's actually on the come up right now. He's really famous almost. He's been my inspiration since I met him, which was about a year ago.
Was this when you were doing your project in grade 8 and you were talking about this contact you had in the States?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I met a lot of great people through that. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't talk to most of them now. They're just busy doing their own thing,
Yeah.
They sometimes lose their connection with other people because they're meeting new people. So, I mean, it's understandable. But when I listen to my friend Mark's music, it's like that feeling that he knows what you're feeling. Like, I don't know, he's just always making a connection with the listeners. And the way he titles his music, it's I don't know, it's like a uniform. It's like you got the suit, which is the song, and then the song title. It fits so perfectly. It's like, I don't know, an outfit, I guess, It's like everything is just on point. It all works out,
Right. So what is the secret to that, the format to that? Because listening to your stuff, I can it kind of has, it starts off kind of slow and gentle, and then it works up to the point where the beat drops, and then all of a sudden you get into the beat, and then it kind of tails off at the end. So, and I guess that's true for any piece of music.
Yeah.
So what is how do you structure it? Do you actually plan that ahead, or does that just happen?
It just happens. I'll be working on something. Sometimes I plan on making it slow, but then I ended up thinking, like, maybe this could be a hype track,
Yeah.
But I try to make slow tracks because, I don't know, I'm really feeling for the slow music.
Right. So, I mean, if I were to go in and play around and make something, or for the listeners, like how would you go about getting started with something like this?
How would I start becoming an artist?
Yeah, to create a piece of EDM music.
I don't know. It takes a lot of experience. I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm well experienced. I'm just about as a beginner, but I'm still learning, and even some like really experienced artists are still learning as well. There's so much stuff to learn. I don't know.
So is it learning just by listening, or by talking to people about how they do certain things? Or
it's both, I guess, because honestly, like last year when I started music, I was terrible, and then I don't know. I created something that sounded okay, that some really good artist named Lund. He asked me to join his collective, and then it was about, I don't know, 40 people or less. No, less. Maybe, yeah, about 40. 40 people, 40 artists in that collective. And so basically every day I was always talking to these people. I was surrounded by creative minds. And when you talk to them, you kind of learn some stuff from them.
So what are some pieces of advice that people have given you? Like those artists have given you? Can you think of anything?
Not really. I'm bad at like trying to help teach people. Because honestly, I've tried to help my friends make music, but I'm just a bad tutor. Honestly, like it's hard to. It's just become like a memory kind of thing. I'm just working off memory.
So, but when you say people have given you advice, what's the advice on usually?
Mastering tracks and stuff.
What do you mean by mastering tracks?
It's like the final sound of your track. Like,
Okay.
When you master something, you don't want it to be too loud, or you don't want to have those little fuzzy bits. You want your sound to be like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But there's really no such thing as perfect. All you can do is just get as close as you can to perfection.
Right.
But that's like a wild goose chase.
So after I'm done this podcast, I guess I better master the sounds coming out of here, because first time using this mic, and GarageBand is running right now. Looks like it's going pretty well, but I guess afterwards you always listen back at your stuff and figure out the levels and things like that, right?
Yeah, because sometimes there are sounds that are too quiet and sounds that are too loud. You just want it all to have like an equal sound.
Mm-hmm. So you normalize the levels and make sure it's good. Okay. Now, those people who have given you advice, do they suggest certain artists to listen to? Do they suggest certain tracks to listen to get an idea? Different directions you could go in?
Yeah. I mean, cause like we all start off different, right? And sometimes these artists, they've worked with some really cool people. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a whole network of artists, and it's like I can't even count them.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say they're like, I don't know. It's a lot. And then I'm just like one little syndicate in this whole network of artists. And then I meet an artist who's connected to a bunch of artists, and then I don't know, I get connected to those artists as well. And then I don't know, it just keeps growing.
Right. And I guess these days it's easier to connect with digital media to just send a request out there for information, because I know I do that all the time when as a teacher, trying to figure things out. I mean, I talk to the staff here, but I always put stuff online and ask questions about, so how do you do it in your part of the world and stuff like that. I always find that interesting.
Honestly, since the start, I've been somewhat teaching myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really explain it, but because I listen to other songs and then I get an idea off that. So basically, when I make something, I try to get as close as I can to that idea without making it exact, because you don't want to be called an idea stealer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. New ideas are like trends. People are making lots of different stuff. I mean, it's rap in the underground, like hip hop, I guess you would say. Hip hop trap, I don't know. There's this new...
I know... Oh, sorry. Go on.
There's this new thing with the artists that they're always using a distorted bass. Like, it's just a trend.
Yeah. Now, do some people go and look at or listen to like older stuff? Because sometimes you hear like samples from really old music or beats or what have you. Like, do you listen to other genres as well besides EDM?
I'm open to a lot of genres. Not so much on pop, honestly.
Yeah.
But there's this genre I'm really into. It's kind of hard to explain. It's called harsh noise.
Harsh noise?
Yes. One of my favorite artists in that genre would be Death Grips. It's a really hard sound, like really hard to describe, but I guess it would be somewhere around the EDM kind of, because they'll take a sound or a beat, or no, they create their own stuff, but basically it's like either really hype and distorted, sound, so it's like really like high speed or something, and the story is really cool to listen to. But
And you can dance to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like if you were to, I feel like if I were to show this to some elderly, they would have a heart attack because it's
So,
really kind
What
of.
is it, like death metal with EDM, or?
I guess you could say that.
Really?
That's almost what it is.
Okay, so it's a very harsh.
Yes.
Well, I guess it's not experimental anymore, but really harsh sounding
Yeah.
genre of EDM.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, cool. So what are you learning right now? What kind of stuff are you learning right now or working on right now? Have you got some things that you're trying to, like some skills you're trying to hone?
Oh yeah. I'm still trying to learn how to make these electronic chords. I mean, I have friends who have gotten really famous and stuff, and I haven't really bothered asking them because I'm a bit shy. I don't know.
What do you mean by electronic chord?
It's hard to describe. It's a
Like, I know what a chord is. It's a group of notes that...
yeah, but it's like more electronic.
So it's some sort of sound
Yeah.
involving different notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the way my friends do it, they just like master it, and I just kind of wish I could be. I don't know. I just wish I could do as well as them.
Yeah. But you're working on it.
I am.
Yeah. So when you say you're working on it, you're just playing around with it until you get the sound that you like.
Yeah. I mean, or as close as it gets to it, you know?
Right. So is it a matter of listening to an electronic chord and trying to figure out how that was created? Is that how you practice?
Yeah. But I'm still struggling on it because I don't know. I'm still playing around, you know?
Right. So what's coming up next for you?
At the moment, I'm just trying to learn how to use actually, I've been trying to get into DJing so I could perform live, which I've been invited to perform live in Vancouver with a friend, a rapper named Alex Gamachian.
So this would be at a club, or where would this be?
I believe a club. I haven't really been told the details, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not ready to perform live yet, but you know, I could learn.
Yeah. So plus the legal aspect of getting into a club for yourself,
yeah.
right? But I guess you could also do parties and dances and things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you be into that?
Oh yeah.
Or a wedding?
A wedding.
Have a wedding? You could do a wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe free food there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. So you've also got some stuff that you released, you said, on SoundCloud.
Yep.
Right? And you've got the collective. Could you talk a bit more about that? And you also mentioned like a live show that you're doing?
Yeah. Well, first off with the collectives, I'm in many collectives. It's kind of awkward. I manage my own collective, which is called Shady Boys Collective. I don't know why I came up with that name. I just thought it was cool.
Uh-huh.
I made it around April, I believe, but so far it's gotten good. It's not doing so bad. And then I'm in 3 other collectives. One of them is Psychonaut Collective. Lots of really cool people on there. And then there's Steez Boys, which is, I don't know, it's a really ranged collective, so.
So when you say collective, it's just a group of people.
Yeah.
Is it an online group?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We mostly use all these collectives. We mostly use Skype to contact each other. It's kind of funny.
As a collective, what is the purpose of a collective?
I don't know. It's like we're supposed to be, we're just supporting each other, you know?
Okay. Supporting each other in your learning, and also, I guess, there's people there who can listen to your stuff and make comments. Yeah. Okay, cool. And you've got some stuff on SoundCloud. What's your URL for SoundCloud?
SoundCloud.com/FVDEAD. Faded.
Faded?
Yeah.
Except it's with a V instead of an A.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll put that on the website as well. You have a live show, or do you not have a live show coming up? Because you mentioned something like that. You were working on that.
I wish I had a live show coming up. But, I'm still learning how to mix live.
So from the Delview parking lot, you could put on a live show anywhere, right?
Yeah. I could just hook up a really long wire all the way from here to the Delview parking lot and just, set up a whole stage or something. But
yeah, why not? Or from the rooftop.
Oh, yeah,
you should have a rooftop concert.
Yeah.
Right? So anything else you want to plug or add?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, okay, and we'll see all of your stuff online. We'll post some links. Thank you for coming here.
No problem. It was
We're
a
done.
pleasure.
First podcast. Woo! High five. Thank you.
No problem.
How was that?
It was nice.
Good. Now you can go. Now we're done.
All right.
Now I can go master this thing.